Hey, what's poppin'? It's your boy Cassius Cuvée on a Sunday fun day, and this is the come up with Cassius Cuvée. Oh my God, you guys, this has been one hell of a week. I got to give a big special shout out to the Profit Circle. My man Blueberry in there, we was trading the last few days, just killing them. Oh my God, we're gonna go over a lot of stuff today. This is not financial advice. You can do your own research. Trading has risks. Let's get all the disclaimers out the way. I got my referral links up at the top. Those are affiliate codes. If you use them, I may earn a commission. But man, we got a big show today. Oh my God. Okay, we've been killing the trades. All right, so we got the copy trading going. We got a whole bunch of stuff. I'm gonna let everybody jump in here. We're gonna play the classic in real life music video because your boy Cassius Cuvée is an in real life type of guy. Heading to San Francisco later on after the show, do some in real life things. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. I got the rundown of what we're gonna go down today's show. But first, I'm gonna let everybody get in here. We're gonna play in real life, man. It's a crypto classic for show with your boy Cassius Cuvée. Filmed it at the Bitcoin conferences and also NFTLA in 2022. So let me pull that one up one time for the one time we let everybody get up in here. Let's go back to the beginning.
I stepped off the jet, go straight to rock a show for my people. Decentralized social, met the founder of DISA. Pop a bunch of bottles, party all night long. The next day, me and D. Marie recorded a song. I'm just a boy from the Bay, what more can I say? Went to NFTLA and stayed for more than a day. Met Austin and Aaron at the VIP, checking with the best crypto news show. You gotta respect them. Special shout out to Devin and Rich reppin' Superworld. We went to a party, met a real life Supergirl. Whenever I seen Kyla, she was always smiling. She be lighting up the praise booth without even trying. I done came a long ways from the days when I was struggling. A crab in the bucket, then mad when they was rugging them. But now I flip the script, take a trip and we can have a ball. And hit the strip with more drip than Niagara Falls. I met a chick so thick it's no refusing her. She told me that this Web3 life is seducing her. She want me to feel her confidence to the fullest. I'm like altcoin daily, baby, always bullish. Nah. If you get with me, then baby we gon' see if you meant to be in the lifestyle. If you get with me,
real life,
then
baby.
we
Boy,
gon'
Cassius
see if you
Cuvée.
meant to be in the
Everybody's
lifestyle.
joining
In real life, in
Hey,
real
we got,
life.
okay, man, Blueberry's in the Discord right now. He's still trading. Watch the show, Blueberry. But man, we getting them. We're putting screenshots right now. Look, I'll show you.
Shout
Go
out
back.
to my DJs who mostly getting richer. You should tag them, cause they don't waste their time posting pictures. I met founders like Reggie, pioneers like Jim Jordan. Israel told me who were early and important. I seen him in LA, then at Bitcoin Miami. Kicked it with David Lynn and High Monks. They the family did a blocks to interview with Meeks, and then I'm about to
Shout out
be
to
at
the
the
chat if
after
you out there
party with
listening, say
High D's
something.
on the balcony. Even in my jeans, you can see my blings. Me and Dreamer hit the scene like some DeFi kings. And investing with Annie, that's the Bitcoin queen. Or follow Stash
What
in
a
your bags, couldn't get more green. Miss Teen Crypto
Randy.
and Wendy O in real
That was the
life.
first
It
time I
feels
met
nice
Randy
like selling the top
in
of
real
a
life.
hill twice. I chilled with Will Berry
Put it
in the
in the music
castle
video in real
above
life.
with Jared, Doug, Brad, and Amy till the sun coming up. Call Kayla Love, Spotty Wi-Fi.
Shout out
and
Kayla
a couple
Love, Spotty
groupies.
Wi-Fi.
Then pick a plot across the sandbox from Uncle Snoopy. Subscriber count is kinda low, but it ain't nothing to
man,
me. Still
Adam
live this
talked to me
Web3
yesterday.
life like it's a fucking movie. If you get with me, then baby we gon' see if you meant to be in the lifestyle.
Let's go.
If
Glow
you
in the
get
dark
with
braids,
me,
baby.
then
Glow in the
baby
black
we gon'
light.
see if you meant to be in the lifestyle. In real life, in real life, in real life, in real life.
Who we got in the chat?
In
Say
real
something.
life, in real life, in real life, in real life. Don't be fooled by the follower count on those scam ass Web2 platforms.
We getting warmed up in here. We getting real hyped today, man. Had a great night last night. You feel me? And this is the come up with your boy Cassius Cuvée. Always doing big things every day. Live in the Discord, live on YouTube, live in real life. You know we get it popping, man. Everybody, if you guys know me by now, you know you're rocking with me. You know we doing big things. Everything I'm doing is going to be big. So, all right. I got to run down today. Again, not financial advice, but we got to go over some trades, man. We winning on the trades. Shout out to the folks I met last night. Might see them again later today in San Francisco. Man, check it out, y'all. We killing it. Killing it in the Profit Circle. So I got to give a special shout out to my man Blueberry. I see him in the Discord right now, but he's on his job. We calling out trades. We calling out tickers. We won the same trade 3 times in a row, bro. I mean, in and out, hundreds of percent shit, like killing them. And then all week, early, we started the week killing them. I started copy trading like for real last week, right on Saturday. 1 week, we already up a lot. And so you can copy trade me on Phemex. That is the referral link you see at the top there. All you got to do is create an account first, GMMNX5. And then unless you already have an account, you can just copy me. Link in the description. We're going to go over it. Let me run a rundown real quick of what we're going to go over today's show because I got a lot of stuff and I don't got a lot of time. And so I'm going to go kind of fast today. You guys can go back and watch it. But, man, life is good, man. I can't even front. So, okay, so here, first of all, yeah, the huge wins in the profit circle. We went over it all day, like live in real time, you guys. The profit circle is the private Discord group. It's in the link right at the top of the description of this video, okay, of this live stream. Make sure you like it, share it to some people who like making money, man. Again, it's not financial advice, but we're going to show you what we're doing in real time and how you can hit these gains. I mean, I'm looking at Blueberry right now in the Discord. Let me show you right here. He just posted. This is in the general chat. So here's the thing. The Discord is free for anybody in the general chat. I open it up for everybody, okay? So we did the whole discussion. You could scroll back up, and we talking about market cipher when we enter on the green dot and blue dot in the 10-minute and this and that, Fibonacci, everything in the general chat. So that was free for everybody. There is some token gating, if you will. There's some stuff behind the paywall, which is for like the market analysis, some other stuff like that, which we do put stuff in there. We got our trade setups. We call out future trades, what we're doing in there. The Discord it's called a profit circle, and it's not just me in there. That's what I want to call out. It's actually other people contributing as well. So, man, we went in and out of this trade so many times. Like one person might find a ticker, but now we got a few people watching it. Now we're looking at different levels, different time frames. I'm looking at what Bitcoin and Ethereum are doing in real time. You feel me? So I'm like looking at, we scroll up. I mean, we was calling it out. Look at these wins. This is just the general test. Anybody can get in here. Now, if you want to join the full group, become official wave maker, all you got to do is create a Phemex account on Phemex with my referral code. And then when you go to the Discord link, all you do is there's in the welcome channel, there's going to be a tab that you click on and you put in your user ID number from Phemex, and there's a bot that automatically verifies that you used my referral code, and then you join 1 year for free. So that's how you get in here. It's pretty straightforward. You see, we were on this all day yesterday, and then the day before that, I wasn't even supposed to trade, but it was too juicy. The trade was too juicy, man. So we was like, I synced it, and we had to do it. You feel me? Like this. Okay, this is Bitcoin. We were trading this yesterday. This damn short squeeze. It may not look like much, but you got to understand, on Friday, we traded this. This was a big-ass move. Then when this happened on Saturday, I was like, bruh, I wasn't going to trade today. And I'll show you. We're going to go into details later. I didn't even trade it perfect, and we all came out winners, bro. Killing them. Hell of a trade. So shout out to Blueberry and everybody who's in that trade with me. We got a SCST Cest was in there too, learning the game and everything like that. So you could be a new trader or an experienced trader to join the private Discord. I suggest you get up in there because we in there all the time, man. I check it first thing I do and open my eyes in the morning, and then before I go to bed too, and pretty much all day other than that too. So, okay, but other stuff to go down the list this week. I mean, from this week, we killed it. All the swing trades I did when I started the copy trade, they hit like a mug. They hit. So we're gonna go over that. That was early in the week. All right. I want to talk about a confluence of ideas, which is what we have in the profit circle when you join a trading group. I want to talk about camaraderie, okay? I want to talk about how this is golf, not tennis, all right? In crypto, in trading, I should say, it's you versus you. You feel me? Like, yeah, you can have a competition with whatever you want to have competition, but at the end of the day, it's not someone on the other side of the court that's defending against you. You're defending against yourself. So the most important thing is to have a good mindset. We're going to go over market psychology combined with mathematics. I'm going to show you guys something later on. We also got, let's see, patience. I'm going to show you why patience works. I'm sometimes too early on trades. I say it all the time, but I'm honest with you guys in real time in the Discord when I think I'm early. And that's why it's good to have other folks in there. Randy Hippershaw was on Miss Teen Crypto Show. You seen her in the music video in real life. You know what I love about the music video in real life is that's literally the moment that I met some of those big influencers in crypto for the first time ever. And I captured it on video, put it in the music video, in the song. I wrote about it. Like, it's a perfect mirror of like my real life experiences in that song. So now you see, we fast forward 4 years later, and me and Randy got a hit song, Bitcoin Bestie. You know, she uses it every day on her show before she goes live. I was on her show doing some technical analysis, teaching some tips and tricks. I want to go over some of that as well, just stuff on the charts that for the layman trader, they may not know it. You know, we're looking at Heikenhashi candles, was looking at how to set alerts on Market Cypher B, things like that I did on her show live. She's got a bigger audience than me, so shout out for Randy, putting your boy on. And, you know, make sure you keep following and subscribing to Randy Hipper for sure. Oh my God. So I got a couple of things. You understand. I'd be walking around the house just thinking just thinking of things. I'm not even trying to think of them, but I'm like, one of the things I learned, when some of the ways you trade, this trading style is like either you hit it or you didn't. And that's what you can do when you enter with a tight stop loss and maybe high leverage. And it's like you either caught the top or you get stopped out, no problem. The trade isn't over yet. Win percentage doesn't really matter. And we're going to go over some of the stats also, because on Phemex, I have a copy trading account, so I can't hide nothing. Y'all can see all my stats. You feel me? So like, you're going to see all of this stuff, win percentages down here, that kind of stuff. But I also going to go over the difference, like what this matter. 57% win percentage is pretty damn good, to be honest with you. But it was 60%, but I didn't care because I had a bunch of small stops waiting to get the perfect entry on the big win. So it doesn't really matter. One statistic by itself doesn't really mean much. We're going to go over that too today. What else? We got so much stuff today. Yeah, either you hit it or you didn't. What else we got here? We're gonna come back to this. General market sentiment. Bitcoin is pumping today. Let me just start off the show with that. Let me get into Bitcoin real quick. Bitcoin is pumping, right? This is the weekend. So this right here is the line for the CME gap. We're going to go over the CME gap a little bit later. Basically, though, the Chicago Mercantile is where Bitcoin is traded, the Bitcoin futures. And so, there's a gap when, like, this is when the weekend began. And so, like, when the weekend ends here in a few hours, which would be 3 o'clock my time, Pacific time, then this blue line will end, and then there'll be a gap. And a lot of people believe, it happens a lot, that, basically this Bitcoin is volatile enough where what will end up happening is you will fill that gap. So basically, price will come down. Now, here's the thing. It doesn't always happen. And it doesn't always happen right away. So, that's something that you got to be cognizant of, but that's why I have this indicator here. Anyways, what I like to use it for additionally is comparison of what's been bullish and what's been bearish. That's really what I like to use it for, because it's such an easy eye test that everybody's weekend started here. So when I go down my list, not that ticker, so we're going to start it here. Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin, you see how much Bitcoin pumped. Okay, Ethereum pumped a little bit more relative. It's like relative to itself, but relative to another ticker. This is the coin we traded. It pumped and then dumped because this was a crazy short squeeze going on. So we were shorting, even though the rest of the market was pumping. We're still winning, which is what I also want to talk about, is that counter trade can still win if you're in the right ticker. And it's specific circumstances that maybe we'll call out in the group. You see this ticker was bullish. These are some of these ones that had these squeezes. You see, man, we won this one on, was it Thursday or Friday? Newt. Oh, this was a great one. This was a great one, man. We had so many great trades we killed this week. I can't even keep up with them all. I started the week with so many bangers. So many bangers this week that we killed. Moondag, my old faithful short. Okay, so let me start. The ones we started killing this week, they were all shorts. Let me go to the 1 hour. Basically, this drop here all the way down on all these tickers is what we want. And I'll show you it like on, I guess, Bitcoin. It was this drop. And if you notice how much Bitcoin recovers and the shit coins don't. That's my whole point. It was this drop. Oh, and this damn one, I got stopped out. This is why I diversified, though. I got stopped out right there. Right there. Come on, man. Right there, I got stopped out. And I missed a great move. But here's the thing. I was in 17 tickers. I can afford to get stopped out of a couple of them. You feel me? So it's not a big deal. All of these other ones won. All these other ones, they all took this massive waterfall that I knew was coming after seeing all this, because I'm the shitcoin short king. I seen all these, and I don't believe them. This is another one, Tezos. Oh my God, the epic short squeeze on Tezos was crazy. And this Fibonacci, I don't even pull Fibonacci. That was Blueberry's idea, but that's what this thing in the background is. But basically, this short squeeze came and we wrote it down, man. What, you even got to go it all the way down, just a couple of moves. That's a lot of percent when you're using leverage. You feel me? So, anyways, if you out there in the chat, shout out to the chat. Make sure you say something in the chat so I can know you guys are out there. This one actually didn't do so well, but I did win it. So this is the other thing too. What I did was I took profit on 8 of my trades, and I left 7 of them open, and I took 50% profit because I took it like here, and then there was like another dump, and I took out the rest. So that's one of the things I want to talk about. And it was a good thing too, because you could see stuff pumped. So it's okay to take partial profit to lock it in and make sure that you're winning, making sure that is, green is what we always say. All of these, they pumped again too. So that was a good trade. And my point was, once Bitcoin dumps, once any pullback comes, really, honestly, it's the NASDAQ. You see, the NASDAQ doesn't have to move down much for altcoins to dump hard. And that was this. So you saw when I zoomed out on the NASDAQ, that don't even look like that big of a move. Shit, the NASDAQ made a new all-time high like 2 days later. But like, you get a day and a half dump in the NASDAQ, you're gonna win a lot of trades if you're shorting. And that is basically why I always look at the NASDAQ. I always call it out. If you follow me on Twitter, if you follow me in the private circle, you're going to see them always referencing the NASDAQ first, because I promise you, if stocks drop, crypto's going to drop too. And stocks have been relentless. So Bitcoin's been good. I don't short Bitcoin. I short the shit coins. But eventually there's a pullback and then alts get hammered. So a lot of what you got to have is bankroll management. I preach it all the time. It's never going to stop. But this one little waterfall here, which was only 1.26% in the NASDAQ, and then it went on to do one little more, this one here at the open here, at after hours here, and then that was it. That was enough. That was enough to make any one of these little tickers. Got to zoom out a bit here when you're on crypto because it's 7 days a week. It was enough to make these tickers just do a waterfall all the way down. You know what I'm saying? You're going to see they all pretty much acted the same. Bonk has been strong, but it still came down right here. Come on, load. Oh, this one was already down. So basically, short weakness. Go long strength and short weakness. And that's what I'm always preaching because it always works. But also, join the private group because that way you get to see it in real time. And there's tickers like I don't see all the tickers. So some of the people call out tickers that I don't see. Now, Vic was a great trade. Vic was one. Fist was the one we just closed out last night and this morning. If you've been watching my Twitter, my Instagram story, well, I have to go over this trade. Like we won it so many times. This is it doesn't look like that much when you're on this chart, but when you zoom in on this chart, that's thousands of percent or hundreds of percent when this came up and then came back down. I got out here, this blue line, which turned out to be perfect. It pumped again. Okay, we got back in it again. Boom, I got out. I started playing it better. Got out here. When I first went up, it punched me in the face because actually we first discovered it over here. Blueberry called it out over here. And so that was when we followed it all the way back down. So I'm gonna get back to that. I'm gonna get back to that in a second here. Hold on. Okay. I do want to talk about this though. Okay. In trading, you got a 50-50 chance of winning. It's either going up or it's going down. Don't overcomplicate things with too many indicators. This is my opinion, all right? I like to make trading simple, make trading easy. Chip Muffin in the house. What's going on, man? Shout out to Jesse also. So make trading simple, man. There's a million indicators. I know on this one we have a Fibonacci because Blueberry uses them. I don't even really use them. And this time it was dead on, though. I got to give him credit. It was dead on. But I don't like, you kind of get paralysis of analysis sometimes. And here's the thing. I want to call this out because think about this mathematically real quick. Have you ever multiplied a fraction with a fraction? What do you get? You get a smaller number. And so it's kind of like you start layering on this indicator with that. And trust me, I got a whole bunch of indicators up here. I got a whole bunch of indicators up here. All right. Right here. You start, I got market cipher on almost all the time. This one, it just kind of shows me some trend lines. It's the KC percentage Williams R. This is moving averages. We got the CME gap. We got, I do have simple moving averages on here, right here. We got volume indicators, all these things. Bruh, like what happens is you start multiplying all of these things with all these other things. And like before you know it, it's completely confusing on what you should do. So my whole thing is to simplify it and not rely on too much because you really only need market cipher B and looking at price action. That's really all I really need. Now, market cipher B is down here. This is the oscillator. These blue momentum waves are how I know when I can enter or even exit trades. Now, you can use other stuff on the price chart as a target, but I always say I don't really care what anybody says. For me, this is 80% of the cake, and up here is the frosting. Now, I can draw your name real beautiful and cursive frosting on the top. I'm pretty good at that. But it doesn't make a difference if this shit ain't working out right. So this is what we're looking at. When we were going in this trade, right? Let's say we were looking at the 10-minute. I mean, when I'm on Phemex, I'm looking at the 1 minute. let me actually come back to Phemex. We're in the 1 minute because I do want to show you guys this because you could actually see the arrows. Okay, can you see that arrow? I had wrote it down. I got out here. I got back in here, and you see I wrote it down here. I took a partial profit and another profit. Turns out I'm glad I closed this when I woke up this morning because you could see it's pumping. These are closed positions. We won so many trades. So basically, I'm looking at market cipher B. I got to show you this. And we're discussing this in real time too in the profit circle. And we're like, okay, well, when should we enter? And you know, I'd rather be late than early, to be honest with you, even though I find myself being early too often. But again, this is why I want to go back to the golf analogy. When you're in the private circle, I mean, the profit group, the profit circle, it's almost like you got a team of buddies who are playing the same hole on golf. And they like coaches. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, you sliced that one. Hold on. They can watch you while you swinging to tell you, you know, what your form is wrong or what, like, because I'm looking at this. I'm like, okay, we're looking at this. And yeah, but look at I'm waiting until the 1 hour turns red. I'm going to wait until this exact moment happens in order to enter this trade. And so like that kind of stuff helps keep you honest so you don't go in too early, so you don't lose money. It really does help. So basically, because this was, look how volatile this ticker was. It was going up and down, and we were getting in and out, in and out. We were shorting in and out, in and out. So shorting, for anybody who's new, that means you're betting on it to go down. So that means I want to enter here and ride it all the way back down again. So basically, what we're looking at is these momentum waves to tell me when this momentum has slowed down. Because when the momentum is slowed down on the upside, that's when we start to get in. So what you do is you start looking at the smaller time frames first, and they always roll up to the bigger time frames. So, you know, we know from experience that, okay, look, I feel the safest only once I get a 10-minute red dot. But before a 10-minute red dot comes the 5-minute red dot. So first you're looking for the 5-minute red dot to come. And you don't know how big price will move because look at this 5-minute red dot and it shot up so high. Even higher than this was the previous peak way over here. I thought this was high. And it shot up way higher. So that's when the frosting comes in over here. And that's when Blueberry pulled that Fibonacci retracement tool. And he was like, the golden pocket is right here. And so when it went up to here, he missed the entry. Now I didn't wait because I don't like waiting. I saw the price action jiggering around like this. You know, I'm looking at a 5-minute red dot rolling over. I'm like, I'm going in. Sure enough, I was winning until I was losing for a second. And then it kissed it. It kissed his entry. And then we rode this all the way down. Even thousands of dollars made right here, depending on your position. Thousands of dollars. Literally, this is not an exaggeration. Look, you can go into the Discord in the wins column. You don't have to be, let me show you real quick. You don't have to be a verified wave maker to go into the wins column. And you can see all the wins that we were posting from these trades. I don't know why my internet's so slow today. You see what I'm saying? Like we were just killing them. Killing these wins in and out. Oh man, that was a great one. He's doing 75% on 3x. So if that was 30x, that'd be 730%. You guys got to understand this is in days. I mean, excuse me, this is in hours, not days. This is like a day trade. This is damn near a scalp. So it's like, look at these wins, and this is in a short amount of time. Oh, this is when Breakout Prop hit. You guys, I killed it this week. There's too many things to even keep track. Come into the Discord, and you'll see some of these wins on Breakout Prop. Bruh, Breakout Prop was hitting this week. But I had most of these same trades open in the Phemex copy trading account. So this is where you see you're getting these triple digits. Now I was in these actually for a few days. Some of these were actually a little bit longer because like I showed over here, I was waiting for them to roll over. I knew that they would fall. It was on Saturday, and on Saturdays, basically, I kind of say when the cat's away, the mice will play. The stock market's not open on Saturday. So basically, a lot of stuff will happen, which is why I don't trust pumps on the weekends. So this weekend came. This is last weekend. You can see because the CME gap is here, this line. And stuff was going up, and I started entering short positions here or here like on Monday. And then stuff went up. They had this quick pump on Wednesday. This one is the one that got stopped out, but then boom, that waterfall came. And so many tokens look like this. And basically, it was just you just clean up. All this came all the way down. And you just came. That's a sign that the upward momentum has ended, okay? And that's why I entered. Now, it did one more pump, and that's okay. I entered again. I actually averaged down one time, and then we just rode it all the way down. I happened to get out here. Why? Because I saw this 5-minute green dot. This is market cipher B down here. I saw this 5-minute green dot pop up, and I got nervous. So thankfully, actually took profit a couple times, but then I closed it out completely here. It didn't roll back up again. And then we waited and rolled back up again. We ended up entering here. When this one happened, I did the same thing. I saw this green dot. I got nervous. I took a couple losses, I think, trying to get in. I would get in and get out, just like small losses. And then you hit the big position here, and you write it down. And I was like, man, did the same thing one more time here. So then, boom, okay, we weren't really tripping after that. We already won the trade. Hit it one more time here. It was like back to back to back. And that 300% of whatever you're seeing is that trade from here all the way down to here whenever I got out this morning, like right here. And it's like, it's so much easier to explain it to you in real time, which is why I say you want to jump in a private group, because people call it out for you. So that's why I say it's like coaches on the golf course. You're not really competing with them. We actually all in the same trade, like we all trying to get the same hole in one. And you never really get a hole in one. You know what I'm saying? Maybe every once in a while you get lucky with a hole in one. You feel me? Like, how many people out there in the chat have ever done the perfect trade? Servando, what's popping? You know, join the private circle. Say, like the video and share it out to some folks here, man, because I can show you better than I can tell you in real time. And that's why I want people to join the group. But basically, you rarely get a hole in one when you're playing golf. However, you keep working at the game, you get closer, get shots, you can still make money. And the other thing I wanted to call out is that even if you don't necessarily trade it correctly or perfectly, I should say, you can still make money. That was the thing. That was the whole thing. It was like, even though I wasn't perfect, we were still winning. And that is what I wanted to show. And that's actually, I'll show you here on Phemex. That's what these red ones are. You see, it's not very much money, but then you hit the big one, right? Then you hit a couple big ones. You see, oh, $3, whatever. But then, boom, you catch the bigger one. And then these were all the wins. They won't let me go back farther on this. It was nothing but greens over here. I hit like 23 wins in a row or something. That was a lot. And those are on the copy trading account. So you guys, okay, you guys, I gotta make this clear. So yeah, you see, okay, I had to show this. You see how the P&L don't even really take no dips. It's just been going up. This has been 1 week. I haven't even been doing. So I started a brand new account on Phemex just for copy trading, okay? And I made a video for it on YouTube and stuff, so you guys learn how to do it. I'll release more videos on it, so make sure you check my YouTube videos and stuff to show you how to do it. But basically, I ain't been doing nothing but going up. Nothing but going up. Chip Muffin, what's popping in the Discord? And so basically, this this copy trading account, if you've been copying me, you've been winning. So this is it here, okay? So I started with I just threw in 10 grand. I wanted to make it easy start. This is basically all in the last week, all right? And these percentages are a little bit weird. I don't understand them. They was 30%. And all I did was win, and then they went down, but I'm not really sure exactly how the percentage is calculated. But basically, you can see on the chart, all right? It just goes up. So the way it works is you got to put in at least $99, and you don't have to. It's not your whole Phemex account. So you could have $100,000 in your Phemex account and only allocate 10 grand to copying Cassius. You see, this is the Cassius account. And what happens is whatever percentage of your bankroll whatever percentage of my bankroll I put on a trade, it does the exact same mirror trade as your bankroll. So if I put on 1% of my bankroll, it goes 1%. So basically, if I had $10,000 in here and I put $1,000 on a trade, and you had $100,000 copying me, you would use you'd use 10,000 on that trade. And so it'd be the exact same percentages, but just like it might be a larger amount of money because you have more money actually in there trading than me. And then when you go down here, you can see my win rate. This is all public information. Public information in the Discord. I mean, in the mods out there, if you could put in the link in the chat here that shows my actual link to how you get here. It's just the profit circle, but it's the Phemex link. You can see all my stats and all my data. This is public for anybody right here. So when you scroll down, these are all the tickers that can be traded, copy traded. You see this takes like a day, I think 24 hours to update. But my winning rate was 57% wins, which is pretty damn good. You guys, you can have a 25% win rate and still be profitable in trading. It's not the win rate. Not one single stat doesn't actually define the whole thing. The bottom line, how much money you're making is what matters, right? And money is relative, but I'm just saying, like, I could have put 100 grand in here, I would have made 16,000. If we put $1 million in there, you know, it would have been 160,000 in a week. So if you're a copy trader, and you don't have time to sit there and stare at the charts like I do all day long in Blueberry and the profit circle, you ain't got to do nothing. All you got to do is put the money in, and I'll take care of the trades for you. What's poppin', Andrew, in the chat from Canada? We international in this thing. We got Canada. We got the Netherlands, Canada. Servando, where are you from again? We international on a Sunday fun day here with your boy Cassius Cuvée. Listen, this is the come up, and we've been coming up here, man. I've been having a great time this week, meeting some new people. Man, a lot of fun times coming, man. Sometimes, you guys, I wish I could tell you my whole real life. I can't even. I can't. The stuff I can't tell you about. I need to start another podcast. I think I'm gonna do it. Those who know me know the truth. We're gonna come back to y'all. We're gonna come back to that. We're gonna call it TA After Dark with your boy Cassius Cuvée. All right, we're gonna come back and do a different podcast for that because I gotta bring on some guests, some female guests, and talk about it. But anyways, man, we back to the charts here. This shit is so popping, man. I'm so excited. Now listen, Bitcoin was popping. You see, Bitcoin ran, even though, and Ethereum. Honestly, okay. So here's what's going on in the market right now. Bitcoin was bullish first, which happens, and then Ethereum got more bullish, okay? And we can see that on the daily chart. We'll see that on the daily chart. Here's the daily chart, okay? Bitcoin came up, it's kind of going sideways, and then Ethereum, though, you see it was even more, but it was more consistently up that same amount. This is the daily chart. Nothing green day after green day for Ethereum. It's breaking out again. What ends up happening is this is what alt season looks like. And alt season are altcoins. And it's like, we call alt season because it's like when Bitcoin's dominance drops, and I can show you the Bitcoin dominance chart also. Bitcoin's dominance drops, and then all the altcoins run, and we're all hoping to get rich off of 20Xs and stuff, but I'm not so sure it's going to happen. I have to see it to believe it. But you see, Bitcoin dominance is dropping because the altcoins are pumping at a higher rate. So this is measured Bitcoin versus the rest of crypto. Ethereum is the largest, largest market cap of that, so it weighs it the most. And Ethereum's been pumping so hard that Bitcoin dominance is dropping, and then Bitcoin is going. Bitcoin might be going sideways, but Ethereum's outperforming it to the upside, right? And you could just, you can see it right here. I mean, it is a, usually the smaller tickers are more volatile, anyways. But Bitcoin's up 0.95%, Ethereum's up 2.62. So you see, it's outperforming to the upside clearly after it's been, it's been underperforming this whole entire cycle. Now here's the thing. Bitcoin has been making all-time highs over and over again, and Ethereum has yet to breach that. It hasn't even gotten back to 4,000 yet. And it was at 4,000 back in January, okay, in December. So, it's playing catch-up. If you bought it here, you're great, but it's not necessarily great if you've been holding it since there. So when I judge relatively bullish tickers and relatively bearish tickers, I'm looking at like the longer market cycle starting from after this dump and this pump and who was able to breach this January high and who wasn't. And you're going to notice there's not many. So congratulations, BNB. BNB hit another all-time high today, but Bitcoin has made a new all-time high several times since this. So Bitcoin has been the strongest ticker this cycle pretty much, stronger than pretty much anybody. XRP finally came back and made another all-time high. But again, there's not many. This is XRP right here. Not many. You know what I'm saying? Not many. And so, this has been Bitcoin cycle. There's just no doubt about it. Yeah, as I always say, we're all Bitcoin maxis now. But if you believe that altcoin season is starting based upon the way Ethereum is running, which is, is strong, then you believe that maybe you should buy some of these lower cap. These are the real shit coins. That's why I short those. But maybe some of these other, actually at the top, I have my stronger tickers. SWI, some of these other Solana, some of these other ones you might believe they're going to play catch up. Outperform. Tron has been super strong. I don't know if you guys know Tron. It's used a lot in Asia and stuff, but Tron, man, I'm telling you, it's like the best altcoin, bro. It's the one that everybody uses to actually transact. Have you ever sent money before? How many in the chat? How many people have ever used Tron? Have you ever used TRX? So like if you're sending money from Kraken to Phemex or to your wallet, Tron is the one that moves the fastest and cheapest. So everybody uses it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I wish Algorand was on there, but like you can send USDC, USDT, and it's like it gets the most transactions out of pretty much anybody, like real money transactions. So, and it's it's not like you're paying Ethereum gas fees and shit like that. There's no reason to send anything over Ethereum. I'm so done with Ethereum. So anyways, that's been a bullish ticker and it's been bullish for a good reason. I can't wait to see what happens with the NASDAQ on Monday. If it dumps, then expect this. So I do want to talk about that, you guys. The NASDAQ has been ridiculously relentless, okay? It broke out here. This was its all-time high here, double top. It tanked, in January. Oops, put that line back. And then it came back up, and it looked like maybe it was bounced off of this, and boom, it shot out. This has been the most bullish ticker, I swear to God. Thought maybe this line I drew here was gonna play out. No, bruh. Breached that again on Friday. I don't know when this is gonna fall, but I tell you what, when it does, I'm going to be ready, and I'm going to be shorting shitcoins. I mean, just like it happened last week. It just happened, and it worked for me, and I shorted those, and that's why I showed you in those wins in Breakout Prop and in Phemex. But I was wise enough to get out of them. The weekend was starting. I'm like, I don't know, man. Like as soon as Bitcoin starts pumping again, I'm like, let me get out, see how Bitcoin. This was the waterfall on that day. Bitcoin comes all the way back. Ethereum came all the way back, but where is these weird coins? They pumped early and they came back down. They're not back up here. So you guys, the altcoins they're not popping yet. And so I got to see a real altcoin season to believe it. That's all I'm saying. I'm going to have a bearish bias, relatively speaking, until then on so many of these coins, meme coins and things that I never made no money. I mean, they just never show me strength since the initial hype. But listen, you can't win them all. And that's why we use stop losses. So I got to stress before I get off this, the importance of bankroll management. You guys, it's everything. I don't care what strategy you use. If you don't like my indicators, you got your own indicators or whatever. If you don't have a system that has built-in bankroll management, you run the risk of losing all at once on one big trade. And I don't feel like in crypto or trading, I've ever had death by 1,000 cuts. I've never been stop lossed to death. And here's a little nugget that I'm going to make sure I explain to you guys. I'm going to say this one on Randy's show again, too, is that you only risk 1% of your bankroll on any individual trade. Now, what that means is it doesn't mean you can only put 1%. Like you got 100 grand, doesn't mean you can only put 1,000 on a trade. Hell, you could use the whole 100,000 on that trade. What it means is you got a stop loss at minus 1%. So no matter what, if some crazy shit happens, if something happens where this just falls out of nowhere, you get this wick and you were going to go long and it comes back on you, you only lost 1% of your bankroll instead of losing 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,000 out of your 100 grand. And all of a sudden that just starts just dinging you. And what even worse, you keep thinking, I'm just going to average down. It'll come back. See, it's coming back. And then it don't come back. And then what happens if Monday comes and then this ticker never made it back to its back to its local high the way Bitcoin did? It does one of these, and then you're down again. Now you're averaging. Now you're down 30 grand. Don't do that. Cut your losses. You take it on the chin, and you wait. And this is where patience comes in. You wait. What are you waiting for? You're waiting for the ideal moment to re-enter, looking at market cipher, looking at momentum. I cut my losses here. If I was going to go long, I'm waiting this for come all the way down. Wait till I get my green dot. That's when I'm going to re-enter and try to go long again. That's what you're waiting on. The momentum waves are huge. They're everything for me. To me, they are a game changer. To me, they're an absolute game changer when I came to trading because it gave me a way of measuring momentum. I always knew that markets move in momentum waves. They always do. I just never had I didn't have an indicator to show me that until I had Market Cipher B. And that was the thing that made it so I could be way more precise on my trading. It's why I can do high leverage shit coins and make, when you see me posting those triple digits, those are happening in a matter of hours, you guys. Hours. I do this shit every single day. Like it's kind of crazy, We're down here on the wins is 136 token. This all happened pretty quick. 341%. That was overnight. You know what I'm saying? This is the third time we traded this trade. We traded this damn thing so many times. So look, the reason mine is bigger is just because I have bigger leverage. It doesn't really matter, really. It's all about your personal bankroll. He's only using 3x leverage. Mine was 20x. So that's why the percentage is bigger. But it's still, in a day, people go, what's up, Digital Hus in the house? Right on, bro. Appreciate you. People go, if you made 38% in the NASDAQ in a year, you would be like the greatest hedge fund. You know what I'm saying? And that's the opportunity that crypto provides you because you can't do leverage trading. You got to do crypto to get real leverage trading. And, you get up to 50x leverage on Phemex. On altcoins, you get up to 100x leverage on Bitcoin. You don't really need it, but I understand it. I use 60x. It's all a matter of your personal preference with your bankroll. But, bruh, like these kind of returns, this is the key. This is the thing I have to call out, okay? I'm doing this with relatively low risk. I got to stress, I'm not using the full 10,000. It was 10,000 when it started. I'm not using that on every trade. It wouldn't be as impressive if it was out of 10,000, I only got 1,600. That wouldn't be as impressive. It's the fact that this is a bunch of small wins adding up where I'm using a few $100, $1,000 at the most. When I hit all those, when I had like 17, 18 trades and they all hit, or I'd say 15 of them hit, I got barely stopped out. That equaled like $1,000. I definitely could have use more of my bankroll. You know, everybody's got their bank account attached to this, so I'm being like extra careful with this. I'm not taking any risks. If you guys copy me, I'm being cautious, okay? Cassius Cuvée. I'm cutting losses, and I don't care if you see a bunch of small losses. The trade ain't over yet. I'm going to come back in, and I'm going to win the big one. But, like, this is not really, like, it'd be different if I put 10,000 on a trade every time. This would be way bigger. This would be 10 times bigger, probably. More than that, actually. So just because I have my whole bankroll in there doesn't mean I'm using it every time. You slowly ramp up. You get a feel for, I want to get a feel for copy trading. I want to get a feel for what ticker I'm trading. I want to get a feel for the volatility of it. Then I'll increase my size as I go slowly. Because what happens is you think you know what you're doing because you won a few trades. So then you like make it 10 times as big, and then oops, something goes against you, and all of a sudden you're upside down, and it fucks up your psychology. Because now you start trading, you start revenge trading, and doing things that you might not otherwise do. And I'm telling you this from experience, and we all do it. It's a thing. I didn't make up the word revenge trading or spike trading. You feel me? So start small. I tell everybody, so like Breakout Prop. For example, let me go to Breakout Prop. On Breakout Prop, you got a $100,000 bankroll to trade with, right? I don't know why this one's so zoomed in. The way I trade, by the way, I have it set up like this because I'll keep TradingView below it, and I'll put Breakout Prop above it. But can you see that? I'm up like 118,000 or whatever on it. Oh, let me put it here. Can you see that? 118,000. Oh, it's off the screen. Shit. Anyways, let me see if I can move this one around. Why is this? Every time I close Meld Studio, it always messes up the shit. Come on, man. Like cropped it or something? Move the crop. Anyways, bro. It don't really matter. The point is, you start small. Breakout Prop is where you get $100,000 to trade with for only $800. So, like, this is good for some people. If you don't want to risk your own money, you know what your loss is on Breakout Prop, your downside loss. We had a contest last week, so shout out to the winners of the contest. I called it out in last week's show. And basically, if you purchase an evaluation, there's different levels to the shit. So you can get a $10,000 account, a $50,000, whatever, $100,000. I always, if I'm going to do it, I mean, I haven't gotten breached here, but I always want to do a $100,000 account because then I can start small. You don't got to trade all 100,000. It's okay to just trade 5 or 10,000, 20, 30,000. You know what I'm saying? And then if you want to go deeper, you can when you have really, really high conviction and you have your bankroll available to you. That's my style. Other people want to use the whole 100 grand, but a lot of people be getting breached. So I'm like, no, don't do that. Start small, and then you get the feel for the ticker, and then you ramp up and bigger and get bigger and bigger. Now, I got to say this about Breakout Prop. Breakout Prop has 5x leverage automatically built in on Bitcoin and Ethereum. This is need to know information. That means you're going to see your money move 5 times as fast, even though you're just looking at a dollar amount. Whereas if you're just trading spot, it would be moving way slower. So like when I trade Bitcoin with 50x leverage on Phemex or whatever, 50x leverage on this would be way higher, but you don't have leverage on Breakout Prop. They just give you the 100 grand to trade with for $800. So if you do get breached and you go negative, the way it works is you got to make 10% before you lose 6%. You can't lose more than 4% in a day. So what you want to do is that's when you really learn to cut your losses, because otherwise you're going to get breached. But if you do, all that you lost was the initial $800 that you already spent. So you don't lose any more money if you go minus 6 grand. You don't lose 6,000. They gave you the 100,000 to trade with. So all you lost is 800. What the deal is you got to pass the evaluation to prove you're a good trader. So you got to get 10,000 before you lose 6,000, and then you become what's called a funded trader, where they fund you real money, 100 grand. The rules are all still the same, but now you can withdraw your winnings every single day. So you make like 1,000 a day, you can just withdraw it that day. Make another 1,000, just draw it right away, once a day. So that's why Breakout Prop is cool for a lot of people, because your risk is built in. So like if you get on tilt, or you one of those people who is always trying to revenge trade or whatever, instead of losing all your 100 grand trying to average down, you just get breached and it'll suck and it'll sting, but it only costs you $800 and you live to fight another day. So that's why Breakout Prop is good for some people, because it has a built-in risk management feature that you know your only risk is $800 and it's already spent when you purchased the evaluation. That's why I like it, because if you ever get in a hothead or whatever, I'm going to revenge trade, and you start throwing all your indicators out of the window and all that kind of stuff, then it's it basically, it protects your downside because you already know your risk. We got Max Ross in the chat here. What's popping, Max? Not sure if I've seen you before. Welcome to the Come Up with your boy Cassius Cuvée. The Profit Circle, that is my private Discord group. Great question. So somebody put in there, we got some other folks in there. Oh, Ping You is pumping. All right, well, I'm going to pull that up in a second. The Profit Circle is my private Discord group, so I'm glad you asked. We were talking about it earlier. I actually have it here pulled up, and it's free to join it. It's the top link in this video, Max, so if you want to go in there. And basically, though, this was the Wins channel. But it's free to join the general chat, which is, man, we were just killing them on these trades yesterday, the day before that, and the day before that. But we were just in here, and what you could see, we were talking it through the whole time. Come on. And this was in the general chat, so anybody can do it. Anybody can see this. Now, if you want to become what I call the wave makers, the verified wave makers, you've got to get, because there's more channels over here that are not open to everyone. Just the general chat, the wins, and just like the welcome and stuff is open for anybody. But I'm doing that to keep out the riffraff and the spam botters and all that other kind of stuff. So what happens is I charge $99 a month for the private group, but I'm not making nobody pay for it. All I'm asking you to do to get 1 year for free is to create an account with my Phemex referral link, which is up here on the screen. And then when you do that, you're going to take your Phemex user ID number and you put it in the Discord bot in the welcome channel, and then it'll automatically verify you. And that's what this video is kind of explaining if you go to the welcome channel. I kind of have to update. I got to make a new one. But basically, I just give you 1 year free. You know what I mean? You get to be in there, and then you get to see the market analysis where I'll put stuff in here. I also have bullish and bearish tickers. And this is important to explain real quick. They're bullish and bearish relative to Bitcoin's relative to itself. Okay, so what that means is, so I got like a list of bullish and bearish. Here's an example I put in here, right? Bitcoin was bullish going up, and this is the CME gap line. But as you could see, token had an initial pump, and then it started coming down relative to itself. So it's not just a percentage, because obviously an altcoin is going to move at a faster percentage than Bitcoin. But what happens is I start collecting these, and I'm like, okay, when the time comes that I have a bearish bias, I already have my list of tickers, and I'll show them to you right here. And I put them in the private group so people can see. But I already have my list of tickers that I know I'm going to short. So I'm not digging around looking for who I want to short. I know that APT likes to dump when Bitcoin turns bearish, and that's exactly what happened. And that's how you clean up and you make those big wins all at one time. And also, when the Nasdaq has a pullback. When the Nasdaq has a pullback, then basically all the altcoins are going to tank. And that's what this little thing was right here. This is one little pullback. You know, it's one day, this one little waterfall, and altcoins just completely shit the bed. Or especially the bearish tickers. They shit the bed much harder. And so we shorted those all the way down. The strategy we were kind of utilizing this weekend was more of a short squeeze was going on. This was oh my God, what a great trade. This is a short squeeze, y'all. Like, this was pumping so crazy. This was short squeeze. When you look at the ticker, it ain't been doing nothing. The short squeeze started here, actually. Excuse me. Let me look at the daily. Excuse me. This was a bearish ticker, y'all. Okay? Like, come on, bro. Like, this ticker had been coming all the way down. This is since April, May. It's just been bearish, and then boom, all of a sudden it hits. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, it wants to pump. That's a different strategy. And again, we were talking this through in the private group. We're like, look at this ticker. It pumped all the way up to here. Like, bro, in 2 days, what? So then we shorted it back down again, right? Happened again. Shorted it back down again. Then when it happened on Friday, I got in a little early. I got in too early because I had my alert set. I didn't have a limit order, but I had my alert set here. We had won this trade back down. It was a beautiful one. Boom, I'm thinking it's going to happen again. And then it went higher. It's like, oh, shit. And this is why you got to have good bankroll management. I didn't have too big of a position. I can make the decision either average down or just get out and re-enter. Whatever the case may be, I'm kind of doing the math in real time. Like, okay, maybe I want to increase a little bit when I come back in. But finally, we won it. Man, it was beautiful. I'm going to put on the 10 minute because that's what we were watching. 10 minute and 5 minute. And we just rode this puppy all the way back down. I got out here on this green line pretty much perfect. Actually, I took a couple profits on the way down at the top of this wick. Let me make that a little bit bigger so you can see. Actually, I'm put on the 5 minute because I was looking at the 5 minute. And I was looking at my, so I always say I do 80% down here as the TA is 80% down here, but the 20% up here is looking at support and resistance and stuff. So I took some profit here. It came back down. And I was like, oh, I got out of here. Good thing, because all this bounced all the way back up again. Traded it a couple times up and down. Not perfect, but ended up catching the one back down again once the momentum waves down here rolled over in my favor. Come on. Once the momentum waves rolled over, this is a big move. This is a big move. I know it doesn't look like much on here, but that's hundreds or thousands of dollars. And then finally, we caught this last one, did this, and then we rode it back down again. And that's when this morning when I woke up, I finished closing it out here. I had already taken a profit before I left the house last night. Went to the house and left the house. And then boom, got out this morning. I woke up, and that was that 300% that you see in here. Let's see Discord. There we go. The 300% on the Win channel. So right now, Max, Ross, you can go into the Wins channel. If you join it for free right now, the link in the description, the Profit Circle, the Wins channel is here. So you can see anybody can post their wins in there if you've been winning. And I was trading, me and Blueberry were both trading it together. So big shout out to Blueberry. He discovered this ticker first. I got such a long list of shit coins. I feel like I know them all, but there's of course thousands of tickers. And so it's great to have someone else who kind of just coincidentally had the same strategy as me, would find tickers, these altcoins that were, shit coins, and then all of a sudden they pump out of nowhere. And you're like, this is fake, bro. Like, you guys, I hate to say this to you, but like most of crypto is fake. Okay? These tickers are here just for trading vehicles. There was a time that I truly believed in Web3. You can see at the top of my Twitter, it says cured of my crypto hopium addiction. All right. There's some tickers I still believe that are like infrastructure for Web3 and could really do big things. But like so many of these coins and these meme coins and this bullshit is not real. It pumps for no reason. So guess what? It's going to dump. It's not going up forever. And the way you trade it is through technical analysis, looking at momentum waves, and then also relative to the larger market. What is Bitcoin doing? What is Ethereum doing? That is the way I get it done. It really is. All you got to do is go back to January. Let me find a ticker that was around in January. Jesus Christ, I got a new ticker every week. Well, thousands of new tickers every week. But like, okay, look at Bonk even. Bonk actually has done well as of late. But if you look on the weekly chart, okay, this is the peak of Bonk, okay? This is November, right? It's right after the election. Let me do the measuring tool. For anybody who bought up here, oh, my bad. Come back to trading. This is Bonk. Anybody who bought up here, let's see how much they down, okay? They bought this up here and they wrote it all the way down 81%, 85%, bro. That's ugly. That's wrecked. And I'm of the theory that this will probably never go back to its all-time high again. Now, listen, it took off right here. That's an epic move. But I also shorted multiple times these long-ass wicks because I'm like, I don't believe it. But Bonk became relatively bullish of this recent time period. So I took it off the bearish list, and then I added it to the bullish list. And basically, if I'm going to short, just avoid this one. There's plenty of other options. Look at this. All these coins that just tanked from December all the way down, and it looks like they had a big pump. Ain't nothing, they ain't do shit. They ain't come back up here. Meme. Bruh. Nothing. And then also, so then we zoom in a little bit, we had that pump in May. So now I get to see a relative of a recent pump, how much things have been pumping, right? So now I'm like, okay, did this breach its May high, its recent May high? No. Then it's bearish because Bitcoin has made all-time highs after this. All-time high. So I'm like, is the moment we get bearish overall in the market, these are going to dump, and you can make hella money on these in one day or a few hours, hell, 1 hour. So that's what I'm saying. Right on Digital Huts, he says, man, you're speaking facts. I learned the hard way with Terra Luna, pulled my back. Yeah, and bro, we all, listen, I am not immune to this. I'm telling you this because I learned the hard way too, okay? I feel your pain. And matter of fact, I might feel it. I had a lot of money in Celsius, okay? Now, it's a little bit different. We didn't, it wasn't just a trade or whatever. We got rugged. We went bankrupt and froze everybody's assets, so that's a little bit different. But, I was in, 80 altcoins that all dropped 99% or whatever. And now I realized, and then when they came back with nothing but memes, I'm like, okay, you guys don't even believe in Web3 gaming or, any infrastructure plays. Or, you don't believe in none of this shit. You just using this as a casino. And that's why I made the song Imaginary Traders. Because I was like, okay, what's going up in here? I ain't want to duck in fear. You want to trade memes? Fine. Then here, hold my fucking beer. Long-term utility, they stay fading. So fuck it. I'm making a living off day trading. Stocks Forex is just a crypto lifer. Either way, you're getting paid off using the market cipher. Hit my referral link. Get your whole team joined. Then run for president just to pump your own meme coin. And that came out a year ago, before the president had a meme coin. All right? I could read these markets like a book. I'm like, don't push me. You know what I'm saying? I know how to trade, y'all. I know how to trade. I'm sick of this shit. You guys want to trade memes and stupid shit? Okay. No problem. I know what's going to happen. They're all going to dump. So, you guys, I'm in meme coin shorts right now that are up 4,000% in my account from January. Shorted them all the way down. I knew that shit was fake. And they never bounced back. Shit like meme. DYM, here's another one. all the way up here. This is May. That's not even, that's just May. Off the screen. Oh, hold on. Off the screen. You see? Way off the screen. Bruh. Come on, man. Look at this. Phemex. You see, I was shorting the shit up here. Way up here. Bruh. I can't even, at some point, you can't even get to 100% down, you know? And look, it was even higher before that. You know, that we're talking 92% or something, you know? And now, here we are. I was getting squeezed this weekend. Here's May, right? So here's May. So now, okay, tried to have a little pump in May. So now I have the ability to see a recent bullish moment, how well it performed. Okay, this is where it did. So now when Bitcoin, again, breaking all-time, Bitcoin is off the chart, right? Breaking all-time highs. And this only starts sputtering out right here. Load up the shorts. And I did. And as a matter of fact, I was getting squeezed a little bit on this one. This was a tough one. It was a great win. I was happy to win it because I was getting squeezed last weekend on this. You see up here? This was tough. It had this shoot up hella hard. And I was like, okay. And then, whoo, did one more. I was like, oh, shit. And I had to I was just holding all through this. Boom, it hit this leg. I was like, okay. And I was like, okay. And then, boom, got out. I was like, give me my money. I was like, I know it's going to come back down to here, bro. This is fake. All I need is the general market-wide to fall, and it's a bearish ticker. It's bearish because you can see from the history. You know, it's been bearish. It's going to fall. And to me, I don't like being right or wrong. I don't like if I'm going to make money. I'm not that lucky. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about bankroll management. I'd rather have a ticker that I know what direction it's ultimately going to go in, and now my job is just managing my bankroll. Another thing is the VIX. See, I used to trade the VIX. I don't know if you guys watch CNBC. Guy Adami from CNBC's show, Fast Money. I had him on my show. I don't know if you guys know this, but I've been on CNBC and stuff like that multiple times. And so I fucks with Fast Money. Great show. My favorite finance show by far. And so they had me, and then they had me as a guest. It was like a dream come true. It was wild. I had a wild ride in 2021. But in 2022, when I started my show, Poppin' Crypto, I had Guy Adami come on the show, and we discussed this VIX trade. And there's actually a leverage ticker on the VIX because the VIX pops, but it always drops. Literally, that's how it works. You see how this goes up and it comes back down? That's what it does. So, like, what happens is you got to wait for this to pump, and then you short it, and then you just ride it all the way back down. There's a leverage ticker also called UVXY. It does even more. And over time, it decays. So you know what direction it's going in. This is the same, and I was doing this before I was trading crypto. This is the same strategy I'm applying to these shitcoins. You wait for them to pump for no reason, and then you dump them all the way back down. Okay, so yeah, so digital hush. Yeah, so the VIX is the volatility index. There's like a mathematical calculation that has to do with options. And so basically, it's when markets fall, usually the VIX pumps, right? Like during COVID, it was, ridiculous. Let's see if I can get back to that, right? When the all-time highest VIX pumps. This must be this. Yeah, here's COVID, okay? So one of the all-time highest VIX pumps ever, right? Because it was COVID. All the market tanked hella abruptly, right? And then you see it happen. Remember, we had a pretty big drop this year also, right? But it always comes back down. So when you hear professionals talk about they're buying insurance, what they're saying is they think the market is doing so well that they're buying the VIX and that they're buying some of this. So when it goes up, it's like, because they're long-term investors, so they basically have to hedge their bets because the stock market is rigged, bro. The NASDAQ is the most rigged market of all time. This is not ever going down to this again. You see what I'm saying? This only goes up. This only goes up. This is the NASDAQ, okay? So when there's short-term volatility, instead of selling all their positions, what they do is they either buy puts, so it's like a temporary short-term trade to offset, or they might sell covered calls on the stock positions already holding, or they'll buy insurance, which is called buying the VIX. Me, on the other hand, as a short-term trader, I will sell this VIX. I'll short this shit when it pumps. And then that way, I know it's coming down again. So now my job is just bankroll management. Just don't run out of money. Okay, so you got to have small amount of money. If I went in here and went higher, I might go in again. If it went higher, I might go in again. You got to be very careful doing that, though, you guys. Like, seriously, that if there was a real catastrophe and it just went, like, you can your whole entire account get liquidated. So you have to, like, either get in and get back out again and try to come back in. But basically, you could just wait until this drops again, and then that's when you enter. And that's ultimately what I was talking about with patience, and that's how we trade the short squeezes and the meme coins. Because basically, once it pumps, we know it's going to drop. But it's a matter of when or will it squeeze higher. And the way we judge that is using market cipher B. This down here. Let me go back to Newt. Newt was a great one. Oh, God, we had so many great trades this freaking week. I swear to God. I swear to God, bro. Blueberry was killing him in there, man. And then he didn't see one. I seen one. And he's like, oh man, yeah, that was a good one. Or it might have been the same ticker he called out. So he was like, look at this. Wow, we took this one all the way back down. You see I had the yellow lines I was entering, then I had re-entered. Actually, that's why I did yellow. Orange is usually my start, and this time I was using yellow to show when I re-entered here. And then wrote it back, which made my new average there, and then averaged back down. So I actually averaged up, I guess. What happened is I came down here and I took some profit at this line. See, take profit hit, and then it pumped again, and I added to it, which then lowered my average. My average was initially here. I lowered my average here, you see, and then boom, and then final take profit was here. I know it doesn't look like much, bro. When you have money on the line and leverage and shit, that's like a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Like you can have you can have a lot of money, and this is, this is the hourly chart. This is not that much time, from, let's see, we put it in here to here is only, that was 6 hours. You get what I'm saying? In fact, I might have gotten out on this wick. I don't know. Oh, that wasn't a wick. So, you're in a trade for, 5-6 hours, not that long, all in a day's work. You know what I'm saying? You got enough money on there, and you can just do this part-time. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be a trader. You don't have to be on the charts every day. But that's why we got you. The profit circle got you. You know what I'm saying? When you're in the private group, we got you. You get the alerts. You take a look. If somebody's calling out something, maybe you can't sit there and watch these damn charts all day like we do. That's okay. Now you can just come in here and just see when we give you the good ones. When we drop in gems. Somebody's dropping in gems. And that's why I believe in a trading community. I'm telling you, it's like having a golf team. You're not trading against nobody. You're only trading against yourself. But you got coaches and people looking out for you, have your back. I see an opportunity. We're going to wait. We're going to wait until this 1 hour rolls over before we enter, because I might have entered too early. I possibly did. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I almost got stopped out on this red line, maybe, But we were like, no, we're going to wait till this or something. Or maybe it's the 30-minute, whatever we're thinking on that ticker. And the reason it's not the same every time is because it kind of depends on the volatility of the ticker. But once you've been watching it for hours or a couple days, you start getting a feel for, okay, last time it pumped like this. This is how much it moved. And then it didn't actually, the momentum didn't slow down until we got a red dot on the 30-minute. So I'm not doing, or what, you know what I'm saying? Like you start getting used to how this ticker moved. So then when the next pump comes, okay, now we're going to play it smarter. Now I felt confident to re-enter here, and then we rode this baby all. Man, it was so beautiful to watch because it felt like it happened so fast, and we're just talking and cheering and shit the whole time through, right? 5 hours. I don't know how many hours. Let's see. If I got out here on that blue line, I got out a little early. As soon as I seen something stalling out a little bit, maybe. Because at that time we were looking at like a 10-minute, so I wasn't even, Oh, I'm looking at the yellow X's. So in Market Cipher A, the yellow X's is what they identify as quote-unquote manipulation. I don't know what that means exactly, but somehow they're pulling data, and when those yellow X's happen, it means like it ain't going up, it's going down. And so like you riding them down, baby. You just keep riding it down, and then eventually though, you start skimming, taking profit at some point. Maybe here, maybe got all out here, and we were waiting. It was funny because I remember Blueberry said that he's like, man, because everything was pumping again. These same shit coins, they pump. It's like the money moves from one to the next to the next. And we thought maybe this would pump again after we saw CKB had pumped again, Fist pumped again, and we thought maybe this one would pump again, but it never did. Newt never pumped again. But boy, that was a great trade. We had so many great trades this week, I almost forgot about this one. That's what was so crazy. We was killing them one after another. But if you can't be in there all day, it's cool. You tap in there and see which ones we're talking about, or you can set an alert. So that's the thing. What I'm gonna do is, you can just set alert on what channel you want. So like this time we happen to talk about it in the general chat the whole time. So anybody who's watching can go in there and see how we trade. Like if you really want to go in there and see what we're talking about, it's all right here. Like you want to go back just yesterday or the day before even too, we traded the same damn ticker. You can go back and read everything what we were talking about, every thought process. You can see what I did here. You can see the entries on this thing here. How much, when we were deciding what he's using Heikenhashi candles. Oh, I do want to talk about that before I get off here today. Because I talked about that in Miss Teen Crypto's show is the Heikenhashi candles. Okay. This helps you trade with the trend. I know why CryptoFace uses it. And also a lot of people, let me go back to TradingView. These are like an average. Come on, man. These are like an average. Let me show them on a bigger time frame. So what happens is they're showing you that they're showing you the trend, and you can see how it's a little more clear here, right? There's not a bunch of back and forth. It's like you don't got to get out of this until you see them start going against you one or two candles, and that's kind of how Heikenhashi candles work. You can trade with the trend. I like being really precise, which is why I use the standard candles. And so I can zoom in and get like try to catch the top of this wick or whatever. But the Heikin-Ashi can kind of show you, okay, the trend has started going back down. It's a formula. And on this Team Crypto show, I posted it also when I was live. There's like a formula, it's like an average of the last 2 candles or some shit like that. But basically, that's why they kind of overlap like that. So basically, it helps you trade with the trend, and the trend's your friend to the end. So it's also better. Like, I'd rather be late than early, to be honest with you, especially if you're doing something like this. Like, wait for it to come back. Wait till, you get market cipher showing that momentum is fully ended on a higher time frame. Then you start, then you go in, and you don't have to catch the perfect top to make money. You know what I'm saying? Or even the perfect bottom. So that's basically what Heikin-Ashi candles are. The last thing I just want to talk about is camaraderie, though, right? And I kind of been explaining it, but like I like seeing it. Flopping Groper, shout out my man Flopping Groper. He was on my show. That's CryptoFace's brother, if you don't know. CryptoFace also has another brother, and Flopping Groper also has another brother. Crypto guy, Crypto Coyote, but Andrew, and he's a trader too. And I like to see the camaraderie. CryptoFace's brother said something that somebody posted, like, you want to be right like your brother so bad. This was Flopping Groper. He's like, hell yeah, I want to be like my brother, But I'm like, but not only that, like, first of all, y'all brothers, bruh. Like, we already gonna be kind of alike. We already gonna be kind of doing some of the same shit. And if you got different personalities, that's cool too. But I wish my brother was trading with me every day. You feel me? Like, that would be dope if the whole family was here trading. Part of the reason why I never got into finance stuff, because I didn't have nobody in my family, in my community to teach me this shit. You know what I'm saying? I learned it lockdown from COVID watching CNBC. You feel me? Right on, all set. Appreciate you, bro. And so, like, I had to learn this shit myself. And so now that I know the game, I want to come on here and give it to y'all. And I know I don't have 1 million followers and subscribers, even though I know all the crypto influencers who do. And by the way, I might be performing at the Influencer Awards here. If it goes down on the 8th in Las Vegas, I'll be performing at the Influencer Awards. But yeah, I know all these guys, but it's like, bro, I'm trying to do this for anybody who wants to tap in, who really wants to learn. You can't say, if you in Oakland, Cassius Cuvée. If you're out here in the Bay and you know what I'm saying, you want to learn how to trade, you want to tap in, and it's all on my Instagram and shit, like, where to ask, where to come to. And the Profit Circle is a great place to start because it's not just me in there, there's other folks, and you can't say you didn't have an opportunity. I literally had no one tell me what blockchain was. I literally had no one break down what Bitcoin was. I didn't even have anybody tell me how finance really worked. I kind of knew because I was always had like investment mind, but it was more like real estate. And then when the cannabis got legal in California, we had a cannabis company, all that kind of shit. But like, I didn't realize that all roads lead to finance. Like, I didn't really realize that. And now I think about it every single day that money is fake because once it goes into the financials markets, it just goes up by a mathematical trick. It's an algorithm. It's a parabola. It doesn't work that way in the real world. So the reason you have a non-profitable company, you take it public and then all of a sudden they're rich. Like, we don't get to manage our lives like that, right? We can't like be in a negative budget every month, quarter over quarter, billions of dollars for years and still be rich. It doesn't work that way. That only works because the financial system is a scam to help the rich get richer. And so, like, I can't change the game, bro. All I can do is play in it. And the reason, I did want to say this too. I was thinking about this earlier in the week. And this is my last soapbox before I get off here. The reason the barrier of entry to enter is so low is because they're counting on you being the dumb money. They want you to enter. You don't have to have a degree. You don't have to have a finance school background, none of that shit in order to trade. Anybody is allowed to participate because they are assuming that you're walking into a casino and you're going to throw all your money away. So my passion is to keep you from getting wrecked. Now, I like to teach people techniques and tricks, try to help them make money and make gains. That's cool. I definitely love that. But my passion is to keep you from getting wrecked. They want you to lose. Warren Buffett wants you to trade the same way he does. Just buy and hold and earn your 5%. Hell, we underperformed the S&P 500. Do you understand that mathematically you have negative chance of catching up to him if you invested the exact same way as him? You understand that, I hope. It's impossible. Not only that, he's lying because they're getting sweetheart deals, buying out companies and pennies on the dollar and all that other shit. But aside from that, just earn 5% a year. You're never going to catch up to them because his 5% is like 5 billion and your 5% is like 500. You see what I'm saying? So his compounding is on billions and you would never catch up. So we have to be better. We have to be smarter. I got to get those 38% wins. I can't just make that 10% a year. I'll never catch up. It ain't going to happen. So, I mean, obviously you can create a profitable business or whatever. There's other ways to make money. But I'm saying as far as investing goes, we have to be better. These are like the fat cats carrying all this food, dropping crumbs. And we the mice, we got to go pick up some crumbs and run back to our hole and get in and out of this volatility. That's all we can do. That's all we can do, bro. We'll never have $1 billion to make some deal on the stock. Like, they don't just go buy $1 billion worth of stock. It doesn't work that way. High finance is different, but they allow us to participate in this part of it, which is trading. So you know what? I'm going to take advantage of it. You know what I'm saying? And then there's market cycles. You don't have to day trade like I do. You don't got to do all that shit. I'll teach you how to DCA and that kind of stuff. Right now, I think we're at the peak of a cycle. I'm not telling anybody to buy anything right here. I can't, in good conscience, can't tell you to do that. We're going to have a recession. We're going to have a pullback. How deep will it be exactly when it'll start? I don't know. But my hunch is that it'll be right around the midterms because that's when it always is. That will be the down. That'll be the low. It will be somewhere around there. And that's when you can start dollar cost averaging, which means you just put in a little bit per paycheck or whatever the case may be into the NASDAQ, S&P 500, something safe that's rigged to go higher forever. And you good. I talk with my friend Vince all the time. I'm like, bro, this NASDAQ is so ridiculous. On the next time all the shit crashes, man, I'll just retire, put everything into the NASDAQ and call it a day. They're going to make the shit go up forever. It's rigged. So, okay. Press the easy button. Like, you know what I mean? You could do that too. But in the meantime, we're going to get these little gains here on this crypto leverage trading, baby. So that's pretty much all I got for y'all today. I got to run to San Francisco. Say what's up to my people out there, man. I don't know if I can go live stream from out there, but if I did, I'd get more viewers than I ever got before. Let me just put it to you that way. But anyways, all right, y'all. We're going to wrap this one up. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Please make sure you share it and like it and do all that other shit. I appreciate y'all tapping in. You know, I feel like I got a lot of game to give. I know that we are winning in the profit circle, and I appreciate everybody in there. Again, I can't stress enough. Shout out Blueberry. The man is on fire. And, you know, I didn't have a weekly recap right because we was trading too damn much. So maybe I'll get a weekly recap next week, and maybe I got probably my all-time favorite music video like in the chamber ready to release it, and I can't release it yet. I got to wait for the right time, and I'm pretty sure there'll be a right time coming sooner or later. So I got a new music video. It's called Crashing Waves. I'm going to release it. It's a chill vibe. I filmed it when I was in Hawaii. Some of you guys have seen some, but I'm holding back on it to wait for the right time in the market to release it. But anyways, man, I appreciate everybody rocking with your boy Cassius Cuvée. This is the come up, and you know, enjoy your summer. I know it's a little bit slow in the summer. Not everybody's tapping in the summer, but for the real ones who are trying to get paid every day, this is where it's at right here. Your boy don't never sleep. So let's get it. Peace, y'all.